Greetings! Welcome to Sunday Morning Announcements with the Jocelyn Gray Avatar. If you're with us on Facebook or YouTube, please subscribe to get notifications when we have new videos. If you are with us on Zoom, say hi in the chat. We'd love to say hello back. If you're with us in person, hello everybody here! And if this is your first visit, please sign the guest book either in the lobby or online at oakcliffuu.org/guest. A reminder! Every Sunday morning at 9:30, one of our board members is available to answer your questions about the church. We hope you take advantage of this opportunity, either in person or online via Zoom. Today, Sarah Ricke will present a spiritual reflection of the summer solstice. Sarah will be talking about the summer solstice as sunlight on the soul. We hope you can stick around after the service today for Talkback, where you gather in a circle and discuss the service and related topics. For those online, see the Zoom chat at the end of the service for the meeting information. After the service today, at 12:45 p.m., our White Accountability Group will meet in person in Charity North, and on Zoom at tinyurl.com/uucoc-wag. If you are white identifying and want to become an anti-racist ally and accomplice, please consider joining us. Why a white identifying group? Because it's our work to do and we need to do it without further harming people of color. Coming up this week, the Social Justice Ministry Reading Group will meet again online on Thursday, June 27th to continue discussing The Sum of Us, What Racism Costs Everyone and How We Can Prosper Together by Heather McGee. The group meets on Thursdays on Zoom at 7:30 p.m. Please contact Mavis with any questions at sjm@oakcliffuu.org. Also coming up, UUCOC is having a very special event on June 30th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Come close out Pride Month at our free, inclusive clothing swap. Refresh your look or try something new. Bring 3 or more clean, lightly used clothing items or a monetary donation. All are welcome and no one will be turned away. And your remaining clothes and donations will benefit Out of the Closet Thrift Store, supporting HIV/AIDS testing and healthcare. Out of the Closet also accepts furniture, newer appliances, electronics, musical instruments, and books, but no mattresses, bedding, or linens, or children's clothing or toys. You can check out their website at outofthecloset.org for a full list of what they can and cannot accept. If they can take it, we will take it to them. Let's come together to support each other and make a difference. See you there! Are you volunteering your time to the church? If you volunteer your time to the church, please make sure to record your hours. Visit oakcliffuu.org/volunteer2024 to use our online form to record the time you spent and the project you worked on. There is also a clipboard in the Hope Kitchen to record your time the old-fashioned way. Note that our pledge drive continues. Our target is $7,000 monthly in pledges to support our congregation, and a number of you have already made your pledges, for which we have to say, thank you! Your commitment will make a meaningful difference and ensure the sustainability of our programs and services. If you haven't made your pledge, please join us in this collective effort by pledging today. Just go to oakcliffuu.org/pledge2024 or scan this QR code. Keep watching your eBlast newsletter for more info on all this and more. Not receiving the eBlast? Just sign up at oakcliffuu.org/enews. It's that easy. Have you signed up but still aren't getting the eBlast? As our tech guy Scott says, don't forget to check your spam folder and make sure that news@oakcliffuu.org is in your contacts. But wait, there's one more thing. We have a member anniversary to celebrate. Mavis Delisle joined us on June 19th, 2011. That's it for now. I hope you all have a great week.
Let us begin our sacred work with these words from Crystal Hogan. The work of the congregation. We light this chalice to honor our work, to celebrate our community, and to bring hope and determination to our mission in the wider world. Our opening words are from Linda Susan Ulrich. Open up the doors. Push on looming wooden arches embroidered with ironwork. Brace shoulders against the weight of history unmoved. Slough off the musty smell of unused joy and stored up sorrow. Knock rust off the hinges if you have to, and let your breath precede you inside. Open the doors more. Make room for a shaft of sunlight to cross the threshold. Give the dust motes something to dance about. Peek through a single slice of possibility and name even the half-hidden truths you see. Open the doors wider still. Pour yourself through the gap. Strut or sneak or sidle as suits you best. Cleanse whatever scrapes catch your skin and bind up the wounds that keep you from entering whole. Open the doors as far as they will go. Draw on the strength of the stones beneath you. Ground yourself in a firm sense of who you are. Stand as a beacon welcoming the next seeker and shine far beyond the lintel and sill. Open all that you are. Heighten and deepen your connections to the world around you. Broaden your definition of neighbor. Grow into the largest target for grace that you can muster. And pray to become a gateway for even greater love and compassion. Open up the doors, my friends, lest we keep the stranger out and condemn ourselves to prisons of our own making. Please rise in body or spirit.
Though you've broken your vows 1,000 times, broken your vows 1,000 times, though you've broken your vows 1,000 times, come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. Come yet again, come. Come yet again, come.
In our community, we take time each week to share what is in our hearts and on our minds. If your heart is heavy today, know that you don't have to carry that heartache alone. Together, we can offer comfort. Please share your joys publicly by posting them in the Zoom chat or send them to our Facebook Messenger or speak them aloud.
When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love.
We also share our joys with one another, knowing that joy calls unto joy amplified. Together, our voices can rise in a chorus of celebration. Please share your joys publicly by posting them to the Zoom chat or send them to our Facebook Messenger or speak them aloud. Welcome to the UU Church of Oak Cliff. Here, we seek to build a community where what you believe is less important than how your beliefs guide and inform your participation in the world. Ours is a community that strives to value the inherent worth and dignity of every human being. To our returning visitors, we're so happy you've joined us again. We know your time is precious, and we're honored to have you here today. We'd also like to extend a warm welcome to any who are joining us for the first time. We recognize the bravery it takes to come into a new place, and we're glad you're here. Ours is a covenantal church. Latin for come together, covenant means a solemn agreement or promise from the heart regarding a course of action between parties. The practice of walking together is the core of our faith. Simply put, it's a guide for the behavior we expect from ourselves and each other. We are bound together by the promises we make to one another, and we recite our covenant during every worship service. If you will, please join me. Because we love one another, we honor each individual's spiritual journey. We celebrate life's abundance in service to each other, our community, and the world. We connect with each other in love, respect, and acceptance. Thus, we do covenant together. And Carol will be leading us in Spanish.
Porque nos amamos uno al otro, honoramos el viaje espiritual de cada individuo. Celebramos la abundancia de la vida en el servicio a entre sí, nuestra comunidad y el mundo. Ponemos en contacto a unos con otros en el amor, respeto y aceptación. Así que hacemos pacto.
Isis, Astarte, Diana, Hecate, Demeter, Kali, Inanna. 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 Good morning, everybody, and a very blessed summer to you all. Blessed indeed. For this week, we were blessed with the arrival of the summer solstice. For me, in case you didn't know from the goddess chant that we just did, I'm very pagan. So for me, this holiday is Litha, the summer solstice, the height of summer, and the turning of the seasons. But I'm not the only one who celebrates it. For many European countries, Midsummer is a huge festival. Norway, Denmark, Sweden, they all come out for Midsummer. In France, they also have La Fête de la Musique. Or, if you want to stay Catholic, you could celebrate the Feast of St. Joan. Here in the U.S. and Alaska, there's the Festival of the Midnight Sun, because they're in the middle of summer right now, so close to the poles. And they won't see nighttime again for a while. If you're in India, it's the Uttarana. And if you're down in Peru, even though they're in the southern hemisphere and technically celebrating their winter solstice, it's the festival of Inti Raymi, which celebrates their own sun god. So all around the globe, people are celebrating the arrival of summer and the solstices in different ways. but we're all celebrating the same thing. So the summer solstice is the longest day of the year. If you want to look at pure technicalities, it's the day when the earth is tilted closest to the sun. And so we, on this beautiful jewel of a planet, are graced with the power of light at its highest. All of these holidays, my holiday of Litha, the summer solstice, midsummer, the midnight sun, they are all celebrating the sun. They are all celebrating light. Light is a powerful force, so powerful, in fact, that countless religions around the world have made it a central element in their faith, a common metaphor across humanity. So I'm going to do something a little bit different today for you all than what I normally do. Today, I'm going to read you some scripture. I know. Today, I have a collection of holy writings that center around light, light that is considered holy, light as it is divine, light as it is the spirit of both the gods and of ourselves, for we too have always been and will always be part of that divine spirit that envelops the world. So let us listen to these holy words in honor of this holy day. Up, rise up and roll along, thou swift horse sun, above Harabarazati, and produce light for the world. And may thou, O man, rise up, if thou art to abide in Garon Manim, along the path made by Ahura Mazda, along the way made by the gods, and the watery way that they opened. This is from Zoroastrianism's Zend-Avesta, Fargard 21, verse 3. And I start with this verse because Zoroastrianism was the start of religion as we know it today. Zoroastrianism was humanity's first recorded monotheistic faith, where the world was created by the one universal God, Ahura Mazda, who was light and good and power and life. And, delightfully enough, his symbol of power was the chalice of fire, just as ours is the chalice. Zoroastrianism's echoes can be seen in so much of modern religion. It was the introduction of the duality of light and dark with good and evil. It was the first with an eschatology, or the end of days. And it was also the first with the concept of universal salvation. The very first universalists, in a way. For although Zoroastrianism also had one of the earliest concepts of hell and divine punishment in the dark and narrow Duzak, in the end, in its eschatology, everyone is lifted from earth or from hell back into heaven to be one with the divine. You see Zoroastrianism's echoes, its ideals, its monotheism in modern Christianity and Judaism, and even Islam. So a verse you might be more familiar with from Christianity, Matthew chapter 5, verses 15 through 16. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden, nor do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on a stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. This verse comes from the words of Jesus Christ. And we as Unitarians have an interesting relationship with the Rabbi Yeshua of Nazareth. As a pagan myself who hightailed it away from some rather more toxic Christian beliefs, it was even a little bit more complicated, and it took me years to come back to being comfortable with this rabbi and his teachings. At least I'm comfortable with the Unitarian perspective, because while we agree that Jesus was holy and divinely inspired and even acts as a savior for humanity, he's not the same as God himself. Rather than Jesus being the only light of the world or the only path that one can follow to salvation, we see him instead as a light that inspires us, a guiding beacon for those who need him. He is a spark of the divine reaching out to those same sparks in all of us. That spark, that light, that metaphor of the Spirit, always calling us to our higher selves, always calling us to be better. It's a beautiful piece of symbolism, and it's found in more than just Christianity. In Buddhism, too, light is a metaphor of enlightenment, the attainment of consciousness connected to the divine and to all things, rather than just to ourselves. The Buddha is always described, just like Jesus, as always shining, emitting a glow that separates him from the others who are unenlightened or needing his spiritual enrichment. Soft and warm, but always bright. No one can miss or resist the power of that light. And like in Christianity and Zoroastrianism, Buddhism also uses that light to symbolize the divine, that goodness, that truth. In Zen Buddhism, they have a parable, a koan, illustrating this. And it's from Japanese Zen Buddhism's Shasekishu, the parables of sand and stone. A student of Tendai, the philosophical school of Buddhism, came to the Zen abode of the Guru Gasan as a pupil. When he was departing a few years later, Gasan warned the student, studying the truth speculatively is useful as a way of collecting preaching material. But remember that unless you meditate constantly, your light of truth may go out. So for Buddhists, meditation is very similar to prayer. It is a practice of connecting oneself back to the universe, back to the Holy Spirit, or whatever else you want to call the divine powers. That light in this parable is our spirit, our connection to the divine. And this parable holds a similar message to a phrase we say quite often. You cannot pour from an empty vessel, we say. You cannot shine for others if you allow your own light to dim. Now, Buddhism has an interesting philosophy of detachment, where it professes that our unreasonable desires, our expectations in life are what lead us to unhappiness. We're being let down. Things aren't what we wanted them to be. Buddhism says that instead we should take things as they are. They say, do not seek love, be love. Similarly, do not seek the light, but be the light. And so what then is light? Now, again, I'm on an earth-centered religious path. And so all of the verses I just gave you all equate light with goodness and spirit and truth. And they're mostly right. So I do not describe to the binary interpretation of light and dark as good and evil. They aren't enemies in some epic spiritual war for humanity's souls. Instead, I see light and dark as counterweights to each other, keeping the world in balance. They all have their good qualities. They all have their not so great qualities. But the cycles of day and night, of summer and winter, however much we might prefer one over the other, they are all necessary for a healthy world and for a healthy life. Light is energy, a call for invigoration. Just like the sunlight calls the plants to grow, to send up green leaves and colorful flowers, opening themselves up to the glory of the sun, so too does it call us to action, to renew our own power in its light, that we might grow ourselves and bloom into our own flamboyant blossoms for everyone to see. The summer solstice is the height of the light's power, closest we can get to the sun, nurturing the earth with all of its glory, giving strength to everything under its light to grow, bountiful and fruitful, so that everyone and everything can be nourished by its power. The summer solstice is about the fertility of the earth as well as the spirit. It brings us renewal of life along with the power of light. So celebrating Litha, the solstice, is about honoring that power and bringing it into ourselves, allowing ourselves to be a reflection of that resplendent summer sunlight, asking ourselves, what do I want to shine light on? What do we want to nurture and grow in our lives, in the world? And then we take that light, arms wide to the gift so freely given by the sun, our beautiful home star, and we hold it up for the world to see and for the world to rejoice in. And with that, I will leave you with one more piece of scripture. From the Hymns of Orpheus, a collection of laudatory poems for various Greek gods, a verse praising the dawn. To Aurora, hear me, O goddess, whose emerging ray leads on the bright refulgence of the day. Blushing Aurora, whose celestial light beams on the world with reddening colors, splendid, bright. Angelic Titan, with whom constant round thy eastern beams recall from night profound. Labor of every kind to lead is thine, of mortal life the minister divine. Mankind in thee eternally delight, and none presumes to shun thy beauteous light. Soon as thy splendors break the bands of rest, and eyes unclose with pleasing sleep oppressed, men, reptiles, birds, and beasts, with general voice, and all the nations of the deep rejoice, for all the culture of our life is thine. Come, blessed power, and to these rites incline, thy holy light increase and unconfined. diffuse its radiance on thy mystic's mind. As we leave here today, may we be like the dawn, shining and resplendent, heralded with birdsong and a rainbow of colors, giving light to a rejoicing world. May we be like the dawn, gentle but inevitable, forever returning after each long night to invigorate the world after a restful sleep. May we be like the dawn of the summer solstice, lustrous and warm and bursting with life and purpose, filling the world with the energy to grow. May we be like the sun, brilliant and powerful, unable and unwilling to be hidden by those who would shroud and stagnate the world. Let us not seek light, but may we seek to be light. And may we go out into the world with that light raised high like a beacon, glittering, glowing, and inspiring others to be the same. Thank you, and a very blessed solstice.
In the spring of 2021, UUCOC added a second covenant to our weekly worship service. Our Widening the Circle of Concern, WCOC, work takes its name from an in-depth UUA study that was published in 2020, and with which we have been actively engaged ever since. The words of this covenant are in your order of service and will also appear behind me on the screen. If you will repeat with me. We, the Unitarian Universalist Church of Oak Cliff, commit ourselves to the study and dismantling of racism and oppression within our congregation. We commit our congregation and ourselves to the work of anti-racism and anti-oppression. We commit ourselves to listening, to learning, and to action. When we fail, we commit ourselves to trying again and again. We covenant to begin this work and to continue until all of us can truly say that we are a beloved community of justice, equity, and compassion. It is that time again. Eric, would you be willing to pass the basket? The gifts you make to our weekly offering or through your annual pledge represent far more than lines on a spreadsheet. Your contributions are a tangible commitment to the mission and vision of this congregation. The offering is an affirmation, a yes. When we give, we say yes to something we value. With our gifts freely given, may we say yes to the values of our faith. Members, if you're contributing cash towards your pledge, please use an envelope from the basket and write your name on it. To text your donation, see the number on your order of service. And for more options, see oakcliffuu.org/donate. Our closing words are from Kendall L.R. Gibbons. There is, finally, one thing required of us, That is, to take life whole, the sunlight and shadows together, to live the life that is given us with courage and humor and truth. We have such a little moment out of the vastness of time for all our wandering and loving. Therefore, let there be no half-heartedness. Rather, let the soul be ardent in its pain, in its yearning, in its praise. Then shall peace enfold our days, and glory shall not fade from our lives.
May the circle be open but unbroken. May the love of the goddess be ever in your heart. Merry meet and merry part, and merry meet again. May the circle be open but unbroken. May the love of the goddess be ever in your heart. Merry meet and merry part, and merry meet again. May the circle be open but unbroken. May the love of the goddess be ever in your heart. Merry meet and merry part, and merry meet again.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Extinguimos esta llama, pero no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevaremos en el corazón hasta que estemos juntos otra vez.